Hi, welcome back to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel, and we're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. Now, for our second part of Community Hotline tonight, we're going to be talking with St. Vincent de Paul. I have with us Anna Plaster, who's the Executive Director. Thanks for being here, Anna. And Paul, is it Kresick?
Yeah.
I want to make sure I had that right. The Food Bank Director.
Yes.
Busy time of year for you folks.
Very much so.
Yeah, yeah. Tell our viewers who may not be familiar with St. Vincent de Paul. I used to do volunteer work for St. Vincent de Paul for quite a few years at a Holy Redeemer.
Yes, one of our partners, and we'd like to see you back.
Yeah.
We'll be looking for you, Monica.
Okay. I opened the door to that one, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah, for about 6 years, and it was amazing how much need there was. I worked mostly with people who needed help with their utilities and rent payments and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But tell us some of the services that St. Vincent de Paul provides to the community.
So we're in 5 counties in Northwest Oregon, and primarily we help with emergency financial assistance, rent, utilities, sometimes prescriptions, and also food. So that's our main focus. And during this time of year when utility costs are skyrocketing because it has been so cold, you're right, then people are coming to us with shut-off notices, and we just can't see that happen. Yeah. So we're doing everything we can to try to cover the costs to prevent shut-offs, so people not only have heat, but they have water, Yeah, and then in addition to that, food. There's a lot of food insecurity in Oregon, and we're doing our best in that area as well to ensure that no one goes hungry.
And it's pretty heartbreaking too when you see families and with the kids that are hungry, and it's
right.
I mean, it's bad enough when it's an adult, but it's when you see the kids too that it's really tough.
Yeah,
it's really tough.
It is.
And Paul, you're the director of the food bank.
Correct.
So what does that mean? Is this a year-round thing for you?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay. What do you do as the director?
Well, it's kind of one of those amorphous titles that means I'm sort of everything.
You do whatever anybody needs you to do.
Which is a ton of fun, yeah.
Yeah. And it's never boring, is it?
No, it's never boring, that's for sure. But in addition to our emergency services department, we also offer a food bank, just like Oregon Food Bank, except somewhat smaller and considerably cooler.
Okay.
This is true.
This is true.
I can confirm that.
That's right.
Yeah.
And through our food bank, we supply both the actual individual family boxes, like Anna was and you were talking about, and then we also supply food to a number of different agencies, about 100 different agencies, both St. Vincent de Paul and other kind of independent.
Such as? Can you give me an example of an independent agency?
Yeah, places like Blanchet House, we supply some food to them. Places like
I put you on the spot.
yeah, drawing a complete blank. Yeah, thank you.
House is that's in Northwest.
It's downtown.
Downtown. Yeah, like an Old Town area.
Yeah, right across the river. Yeah.
And then a lot of, you had mentioned like Holy Redeemer, a lot of our Catholic Church partners have smaller food pantries.
Right, and I remember we had one there, and every Saturday, I think it was, from such and such time, such people could come in with their little vouchers, and they would pick up their food. Yeah.
So we supply food to all of those.
Well, tell her a little bit about what makes us different in food banking.
Yeah, that was my next question.
Is that your next question?
Yeah. How is it cool, and how do you make that cool?
Why are we so cool?
Why are we so cool? Well, one of the things that kind of sets us apart is the way we source some of our food. In addition to having some corporate partners, both in manufacturing and distribution, places like General Mills and Kellogg's and and things like that. And also some trucking companies or some freight companies.
Move it for you.
Exactly, move it for you.
Yeah.
We have actually a pretty good relationship with Gordon's Trucking. And oftentimes if there's a load that's been damaged in transit, instead of just tossing it.
Like the boxes are just bent or something.
Exactly, or there was an accident or something got loaded funny or whatever. Instead of just tossing it out, they'll call us and we'll go down there and pick it up and salvage through it and get what we can. But in addition to those sort of more traditional methods, we do a thing that's called food recovery, which is super cool, and not a lot of organizations do it. And what food recovery is we partner with different restaurants and corporate kitchens.
I wonder if that's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Something that definitely needs to be done.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about waste, food that
exactly.
normally is thrown out. Because I remember, you know, it drives you nuts when you go to a place and you see somebody that, you know, leaves all this
Yeah.
food, or that, you know, they
Right.
bring out the bread and it's never touched, and you know it's just going to be tossed again.
Yeah.
Didn't there used to be like laws that prevented you from being able to do that?
Yes and no. There are still some laws, and there's still certainly guidelines. Anytime food that's been, you know, technically served, either it's been put out on the table, or in case of like a buffet, stuff like that, we can't do anything with that, which is fine. But if there's food that we can guarantee a safe chain of custody, which means it's been touched and handled and dealt with by people who are trained food professionals, you know, restaurants
certified and all that.
exactly.
Yeah.
So stuff that's been made but stayed in the kitchen and didn't get served, you know, things like that. Instead of getting dumped in the garbage can or in the landfill, we go and we pick that up and we bring it back and we make that available to our shoppers.
That's that's a really, really good thing, and that's got to amount to quite a bit of food, I would imagine.
Oh yeah. This last year alone, we recovered about 70,000 pounds of food.
Wow.
Yeah. Through just
Wow.
24 partners. We've got 24 different partners around the metropolitan area that we go to and we recover food, and 70,000 pounds.
Is most of that food that has not been prepared yet? Is it unprepared food, or is some of it actually prepared
The
food?
bulk of it is prepared food,
It is
actually.
prepared food.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And so like something is heated, it's hot. I mean, you know, if you can safely store
Right.
it, then
Yeah.
you can take it.
Right.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember talking to a gentleman at a Thai restaurant in my neighborhood not very long ago, and he said this one family came in every month. It was 2 small kids and the parents, and they would order almost everything on the menu, and they'd eat 2 bites out of everything. He said, it makes me crazy. He said, it makes me crazy because they waste all this food. And he said, there's nothing we can do with it afterwards, you know.
Right.
But really, if they've got it in the back and they can, you know, dispose of it that way, I would think that restaurants would be eager to do that. Or is it not the case, or?
I know, because that's it's a cost-saving relationship if you look at it. You know, in terms of waste for the restaurant, they're paying.
They have to
you know,
pay to
for,
dispose of it.
Exactly, and agencies like ours could help in many ways.
Yeah.
You know?
And you don't want all that food there anyway. It just
Yeah.
attracts the bugs, for heaven's sakes. Keep the place clean.
80 billion pounds of food is wasted in this country.
Amazing.
And I think we could do a much better job
Yeah.
recovering that food and redistributing it.
Yeah, I agree.
So we can address that issue. Yeah.
So tell me, what's different this time of year? How are you approaching things differently? What do you do during the holiday season just to step it up for the need, or is there more need during the holiday season?
Oh yeah. I would say from about Halloween to New Year's, we're just going full tilt. Us at the food bank, and then all of our St. Vincent de Paul partners, and a lot of the other agencies that we handle, they generally do some sort of Thanksgiving thing, either a Thanksgiving box or a meal or something like that. And so we supply a lot of the food for that, and we also do some of the logistical work for them too. And then Christmas certainly is a huge, you know, it's a monster.
Yeah, I bet you need a lot of volunteers to deal with all that, don't you?
Yeah, we do. We have about 1,900 in the 5 counties.
You have a lot of volunteers. You're doing pretty well, I'd say.
We keep them in a little room and pull them out
You
as
let them out
needed.
as you need them.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a mix. You know, it's a variety of levels of commitment. So it could be someone who is, you know, volunteering once a year for a seasonal activity, or a core group of volunteers at a Catholic church that are in the food pantry every week.
Right. So,
you know?
yeah. Like what I did was I would be sort of like an on-call kind of thing.
Yeah.
People would call me
Yes,
as needed.
yes,
So I
right.
was, you know, one night I might take 4 calls, and I might not take another call for a week. You know, and that wasn't typical, but you know, it wasn't anything that wasn't manageable. But you know, there's kind of volunteer things to meet everybody's schedule.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So you're always in need of volunteers?
Yes.
Oh yes.
And I assume you're always in need of donations.
Yes.
What are you-
Always.
besides
Since you asked.
I know, obviously, monetary donations are always welcome, and for any nonprofit. What in particular do you need as far as food donations? Are there certain things that you don't get enough of that you really need?
Oh yeah.
Paul can speak to that, can't you, Paul?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Well, any time of year, but especially this time of year, we're always interested in things that are shelf stable, things that are dry, and that we can hang on to for a little while. Tuna fish is always huge. You know, peanut butter is another one. Anything
Good
that's
protein.
exactly,
Yeah.
a really good source of protein. And then things that are easy to make. You know, macaroni and cheese, or you know, some noodle dishes, stuff like that. Those are always really popular.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and you collect your food where? Where can people donate food?
Well, if you happen to know of a St. Vincent de Paul at a parish near you, you can certainly
it
bring
right
it straight to them, because ultimately that's where it's going to go. Even if it comes to us, we're going to send it out to them. Or you can come down to our main food bank at our council offices, which is
On Milwaukee Avenue?
on Milwaukee Avenue.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Southeast Portland. Yeah.
Yep,
Been there.
5120
Yeah.
Southeast Milwaukee. Yeah, we're
right
just
off McLaughlin.
exactly right off McLaughlin. Yep.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which was
Yeah.
pretty slippery this morning, I must
I
say.
bet it was.
Yeah.
It's pretty steep. That's a pretty steep
Yeah.
road.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. But you probably have all that information on your website as well. I
Yeah,
imagine.
that's a great place to get the info.
That's a SVDP PDX, so St. Vincent de Paul, PDX for Portland.org.
That's it.
And then as far as utilities, keeping the lights on, keeping the heat on, people want to make donations, monetary donations, I assume is what people would do. And there again, go to the website and you can find out how to donate for that.
How to donate, not only to the main office, so we can take care of the people in that community where the office is located, but also, again, as Paul had mentioned, at a Catholic church that has a St. Vincent de Paul volunteer group. You know, they also need the funds. Right. You know, you have families who, a lot of them struggling financially because they're underemployed, they're unemployed. People are struggling to make ends meet. We're getting a lot of families who have never asked for help before.
Yes, I know that's
and there's
true,
such an unfortunate stigma attached to asking
it's
for
very
help.
hard to ask for help,
And
especially that first time. It's like,
yeah,
you know.
and we don't have any eligibility requirements. It's basically, if you need the help, come and see us.
And
So
it might be important to note.
we try to make it easy.
Yeah, you do. And it might be important
Yeah.
to note that through the Catholic Church, you don't have to be a member of the parish.
Right,
You don't have to be
no.
Catholic.
Correct.
You can be anybody in that
Anybody.
area.
Yeah.
So
Any religion,
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
religion, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah.
we have a picture here. Why don't you tell us what this is?
So this is another one of our programs, and this is another one of the things that makes us unique and cool and awesome. This is our St. Vincent de Paul mobile kitchen. And what this is, it's a converted school bus. It started out life as a 1992 school bus, and we bought it and we gutted it and we turned it into a fully licensed. We have Clackamas County come out and inspect us. The health inspector comes out twice a year. Fully licensed restaurant on wheels.
Cool.
It's the coolest thing ever. And it's kind of one of a kind, really.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. This here's a good example of our food recovery. This is after the foods come in, we're repackaging it. That's one of our employees there. And here is a this is well, I'll let Anna tell more about it, but this is filming.
Okay, and we're just about out of time. So tell me quickly, Anna, what this is, because I know this is something you told me is coming up soon.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. So we made this connection through Feeding America, which we're a partner. And The Chew, an ABC show, came out to film us. They're going to do a segment on the mobile kitchen and our food recovery program.
Because I want to know more about that so I can watch it.
Yeah. So on December 17th, it's a Tuesday, from 12 to 1, we'll be featured on The Chew. So I hope everyone tunes in to see.
December 17th. I have to write this down.
Yeah,
Make
just
sure
how cool that
we'll be
is.
at work. We can watch it here.
Perfect.
Okay, that sounds good. Well, we
Yeah.
are.
And we'll be available for autographs after
Okay,
the
good,
show.
good. Are you both featured in it?
No,
I
actually,
am,
yeah,
but
Anna is. I'm
Paul
not.
hid.
He
was-
was. I'm more of a behind
he
the
was
scenes
hiding.
I
kind
see.
of.
Yeah. That's all right. We got you on a little video here for
Yes.
MetroEast, which we're going to show at the end of the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so
yes.
much.
So you'll be seeing that. Thanks so much for being on, and I hope you got a good response and that you can keep up with the need this holiday season and all year long. But
Thanks
you're
for
doing a great
inviting
job.
Thanks for inviting us.
Uh-huh.
Thanks for watching Community Hotline. We're going to be right back. We're going to be talking now with something different. We're going to be talking with Portland Fire and Rescue, the Portland Toy and Joy Makers, about taking care of the kids' needs for toys at the holiday season. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
And we're clear. Hi, my name is Paul, and this is Allie, and we're from St. Vincent de Paul.
We are incredibly thankful to all that have donated their resources and time to make it possible for us to continue our fight against hunger in Northwest Oregon.
Because of your generosity, we have been able to distribute over 80,000 meals this past year.
That seems like a lot of meals, especially with all the supermarkets, restaurants, and fast food chains around Portland.
I agree. It can be easy to forget that there are hungry children and families in our community. Yet sadly, over 29% of Oregon children are struggling with hunger.
But together we can all fight hunger and raise awareness.
Please join St. Vincent de Paul's fight against hunger by spreading the word, learning the facts, educating those around you, volunteering, and donating resources.
Join us in giving help and hope to those in need. Without your support, our task is insurmountable.
Happy holidays from all of us at St. Vincent de Paul.
Community television is what participatory democracy is about.
Like my friend Laird Ross says, it's the last great American soapbox.
It gives me a voice.
I'm glad it's available.
It's incredibly important to protect a place where all users of locally based nonprofit media have a place to speak and share their stories.